Hey Kingdom, do you know how broken Spore Druid is in Baldurs Gate 3? Spore Druid gives access to loads of great spells and also very powerful added necrotic damage, with nice tankiness and action economy. But today I will show you Spore Druid builds that will improve each aspect of his kit. This build combines insane melee damage with top-tier control, turning a typical squishy class into an incredible tanky powerhouse. To make this work, you need to understand a few tricks and where to find secret weapons. So I'll take you through all the acts in Baldur's Gate 3, showing you which items to get, how to level up, and tricks to utilize all Spore Druid powers. By the end, you'll see just how powerful the Spore Druid can be, and you'll definitely want to try it in your party. But as always, let's start from complete beginning.
Let's do this.
And because we're creating Druid, we need to start as Druid. Race could be any race you like, but I like would have Elf, especially because we're playing as melee class and would have Elf that will come with additional movement speed. It's very nice for melee characters. Starting cantrips will be Shillelagh and Torn Whip. Background is Guild Artisan. And skill proficiency, make sure to have your perception up. Our abilities goes as followed. We need high wisdom for better spellcasting and damage, high dexterity for armor class and initiative, some constitution because we want some HP to basically survive in a combats, and probably you want to sprinkle a little bit of strength on top to be able to jump higher than one box. Sounds like we made a really basic but at the same powerful start for Spore Druid character.
Right? Wrong.
In reality, instead of starting as Druid, you want to start as Fighter. It's a lot better for melee character, and we want to take two-weapon fighting style. Stats will be the same, and getting Fighter at level 1 gives you a lot of benefits. You not only get in this two-weapon fighting style, but also you get Constitution saving throw proficiency, which will add your proficiency to your Constitution saving throws to keep your concentration on your powerful spells. And at the same time you get proficiency with all weapons and armor, so you can wear heavy armor from the start of the game if you want to, and if you want you can basically use any weapon. But I will show you best weapon in the game, and you can get it from complete beginning. So after getting Fighter at level 1, from level 2 you want to get Druid. Druid knows all spells, so you just need to prepare them before the fight. And that's how I recommend using this class at level 2. Instead of having light armor as normal Druid will do, you can get heavy or medium armor and get your armor class up to 19 or even higher pretty easily. That's insane for early game, especially for level 2 character. Now, as I told you, we got best weapon in the game. Torches. Yeah, double torch is just insanely easy to get, they are insanely cheap, and they will be basically most powerful weapon you can get almost in the whole game. So let me explain. All you need to do is to put 2 torches, cast Shillelagh before the fight on 1 torch, change hands, cast the Shillelagh on the other torch, and don't forget to have long strider ready, so you get more movement speed. In case of emergency, I recommend getting a healing word on your hotbar, just to be able to pick up your teammates from fallen state in case they need healing, just by using bonus action. So why is this 1d4 pretty basic weapon so powerful? First of all, after casting Shillelagh, it will become 1d8 and will add your wisdom modifier. And at the same time, this weapon is always burning, so you will always inflict additional 1d4 damage. If enemy standing far away, you can even start a fight by using Torn Whip to pull him towards you. Another good spell is Fairy Fire. In case of success, you will have advantage on attack rolls against targets, and also whole party will get this advantage, so it's pretty powerful stuff. So we can hit, but what's about damage? You see it on the screen right now, you can almost one-shot everyone starting from level 2, or basically from when you just escaped the ship. Also, mix of bludgeoning and fire damage is really powerful. To make your life easier, I recommend putting all boost torches on your hotbar and casting them one by one by equipping and unequipping one by one basically. And like that you will easily get up to level 3. That's where we finally get our subclass, Circle of the Spores Druid. We still can be able to transform into different animal shapes, but Spore Druid comes with symbiotic entity, that's what we want to use. We will add additional necrotic damage to all our damage, and from now on our damage is just insane. From level 3 just don't forget to put Shillelagh on boost torches and cast symbiotic entity from the start of the day or before the fight. The biggest problem is that you need to keep your additional health alive. If you lose your additional health, you will lose your additional necrotic damage. And considering all buffs, one torch can do from 6 to 21 damage, or basically up to 40 damage in one turn just by using torches, against targets with average 20 health on Honor mod. But also we can use reaction to deal additional 1d4 damage, for almost up to 50 damage per one turn at level 3. We are already insanely hard-hitting truck, deleting every enemy we see, wearing heavy armor at the same time, and it's almost impossible for enemies to hit us. And because we're adding a lot of damage we roll, critical strikes is just insanely insane, because we're rolling each dice twice. So it will be really easy to hit level 4, and we get additional level in Druid. To get access to best spells in the game, they are so good that you will be amazed like how broken they are. For my build, you want to have Healing Ward, Long Strider and Fair Fire from level 1 spells, Moonbeam, Hold Person and Hit Metal from level 2 spells. And don't forget, on exploration part of the game you can use Goodberry to heal or just for additional camp supplies, or Enhanced Sleep if you want to jump somewhere high, or other spells that you probably will need on your exploration stuff. But now let's go into combat, and I will explain why these spells is so powerful and how broken they are. Hold Person will give you a chance to disable your targets, but he can succeed on saving throw and completely avoid your spell. We got limited spell slots, so it's pretty risky move. It's a really powerful spell, but I recommend to use it only when chance of succeed is 60% or above. Instead, you can use Hit Metal spell with pretty long and hard description, or just cast a Moonbeam on your target. A lot of people think Moonbeam isn't great because damage doesn't look really high, just 2d10 damage for level 2 spell slot. But the real secret that Moonbeam will inflict damage when you cast it, and also when target will start his turn, so it's basically 4d10 damage, and that's insane for level 2 spell. But also cool stuff that you can recast it without consuming spell slots, only by using action. Then go straight to your enemy and hit him with bonus action. Most of the time the enemy is done. Sometime you probably will want to use Hail of Spores for additional 1d4 damage, but with this build you want to use your reaction completely different way. When you end your turn, make sure that your dual wielding is on. This way when the enemy will try to run away, you will do 2 attacks instead of 1. And considering all damage from Moonbeam, your offhand attack and 2-hand attacks later, you can do more than 150 damage already at level 4, guys. And guys, have you noticed something here? Let me show you this one more time. And now let me explain. Because we are fighter, we add in our constitution to saving throws to keep our concentration, so it's almost impossible to break our concentration on Moonbeam or other concentration spells like Hold Person. This will provide us with 100% critical strike chance. And if you'll find enemies with metal armor or weapons, you can use Hit Metal. While chance 60% is not looking cool, it's actually 100% chance succeed rate. Let me explain. If target succeed on saving throw, he will keep his weapon but will take 2d8 fire damage. If he fails his saving throw, he will lose his weapon. So there's no good option for our target. He will always have some sort of debuff or will take damage. Hey, it's very likely you will find text versions of this and other builds in my Discord. Just press on more and you will find link for it in description. And also it will help a lot if you just take a second and press the like button now. And if you're really enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe so you not miss my streams or other content. Let's get back to the build, where normally you would like to continue leveling your druid to get more additional health points.
Right? Wrong.
It will be anyway really easy to lose this health, so instead we want to continue leveling as fighter. It will give us action surge, so we can cast Moonbeam and make 2 attacks at the same time from the first turn. Most importantly, in Act 1 you want to get Broodmother's Revenge, Caustic Band, and Strange Conduit Ring. Now just look how powerful this combination is. Start a fight by casting any concentration spell. Now one torch can do up to 30 damage almost. But if you throw Healing Potion before the fight and then enter the zone before attacking your enemy, you will activate Koga Amulet. And now damage even more insane. Even biggest enemies like this ogre won't be a problem. Look at his health. You can basically almost delete him in one single turn. Or literally delete him if you be able to attack with critical hit. Just never forget to keep up your symbiotic entity, because it will recharge on short rests. And you're probably thinking that this character can't be even more broken than right now.
Right? Wrong.
Again? Seriously?
Okay, sorry, I just like army. So let's get back to build. On level 6 we continue as fighter, but now we can access to his subclasses. Battle Master subclass that comes with superiority dices that you can use to inflict loads amount of damage and also different conditions upon your enemies. Get disarming attack, Trip attack and menacing attack. On level 7 you will unlock additional feat. Now you pick an ability improvement and getting +2 into wisdom. And on level 8 get one more level in fighter to unlock additional attack. There are some good gear combinations that you can get from Act 2. For example, Kalos Glow Ring that will inflict additional damage to highlighted targets, and Cascadian Ring that will inflict Radiating Orb when you hit someone with radiant damage from Kalos Glow Ring. And because we're using torches, enemies will always be highlighted and we always will get these bonuses from rings. So why this rings is so good and I really recommend it for this build particularly. First of all, every type of damage we will inflict to nearby enemies will inflict radiant damage. And this will inflict a Radiating Orb condition, which will decrease chances of enemy to hit. Taken into consideration our really high armor class, it's almost impossible to hit us. Therefore, it's a lot easier to keep our additional health alive. And now we can disarm not only with hit metal, but also with disarming attack, also inflicting high and basically enormous amounts of damage. If enemy is not disarmed, he still will be inflicted with the Radiating Orb and most likely will anyway miss on next attack. With this setup, enemies in Act 2 won't be a real problem to you, but we will be insanely broken just in a few seconds. Because we're going to get super secret and pretty interesting weapon for Spore Druid. You want to go to 40 and -60 coordinates. There will be a boss which is pretty strong in my opinion. Also he is resistant to most our damage types, but with good party or by using oils that will transform his resistance into vulnerability, you'll get this Ironwood Club that is looking pretty basic and you probably threw it away. And for some reason there is no mention of it, but when buffed by Shillelagh, it will do additional bonus 1d4 damage. So the only thing left to transform our druid into ultimate powerhouse is to find the last most broken item in Act 2. And you basically look in this item, just look in the cow.
Look in the dog.
You mean look in the dog?
I mean, open them up.
And you will find this awesome head of fire acuity. Also, if you saved Tieflings, make sure to find Daemon here. And when you give him Infernal Iron, he will give you Float Helldusk gloves, which will do a little bit less fire damage than these gloves on the screen right now. Every time we will inflict fire damage, any fire damage, we will gain acuity stacks that will increase our spell attack rolls and spell difficulty class. And don't even ask me how broken it is, just look here. We are hitting like a truck, and every time we hit enemy we get loads of stacks of fire acuity. And even not at max stacks, enemies with really high wisdom will have only 10% chance to compete against our control spells like Hold Person. And now we can completely free destroy them with our crits. Spells like Moonbeam will always hit for mostly maximum damage and delete most enemies in the game. Enemies can literally say goodbye to their weapons. Want to have advantage for attack rolls for whole party? You got 100% chance to apply it to your enemies. So basically right now at level 8 we already got options to deal with any situations we need. We fight against humanoids, just disable them, action search and destroy them with your insanely powerful clubs that deal more than 80 damage in one hit. If you want to get these stacks before the fight, just attack some boxes or other useless stuff. Just make sure not to attack fire barrels or you will blow up yourself. And that's more than enough to get to Act number 3. That's where we will become even more powerful. When you will get to Lower City in Act 3, you will find this stone wall. Make sure to get inside and you will find Moomy Guy. You can trade with him for very good Spore Keeper armor. But before you'll decide which armor you want to use, let me explain how to finish the build. First of all, get levels in Druid until you will be able to pick a feat and get Savage Attacker feat. It will reroll each dice you're rolling, which will give you something like 20% more damage overall. Then just continue your Spore Druid adventure. On next level you will unlock ability to create some undeads and fungal undeads, and nice concentration spells. And now again we got no choice, only to get one more level from Druid. And this gives loads of spells you want and can't use. So what spells I like to use at my hotbar as this Druid? Long Strider that we will use at the start of the day for additional movement speed, Healing Ward in case we need to pick up our party members. I use Hail of Spurs only if there is no enemies in melee range. Fungal Infestation and bunch of different attacks from Battle Master. Concentration damage spells, Hit Metal, Moonbeam and Wall of Fire. Well, use Wall of Fire if you know that it can damage multiple enemies at once. And also control spells, Hold Person, Polymorph and Confusion. Also useful spells is called Lightning and Daylight. These spells will have loads of use in Act 3. Also we got a bunch of summons, Animate Dead, Woodland Being and Minor Elemental. I won't go too in depth on summons. If you want to learn more of them, you can watch my full Druid guide in the description. If you will decide to use this new armor from this trader, you will see will drop significantly. But you will unlock 3 new spells. 2 of them is damaging spells and we're not really interested in them. But we interested in these haste spores. Just with bonus action you can throw haste spores. You probably saw them in Myconid Colony in Act 1. Everyone who enters this area will get additional action. It will last for multiple turns, so you will have around 3 turns where you can actually use it for whole party at the same time. That's why I really recommend using this armor if you play in a party and don't care a lot about your personal AC. Also don't forget there is different ways to acquire these fire acuity stacks. You can use basic spell scrolls, so just by using Scorching Ray, you will instantly get full stacks. And also all the spell save DC stuff works on scrolls too, so while there is not a problem to make enemy a ship, and I literally mean completely zero problems, you will have 100% chance to transform your enemies into ships. You can just bang confused enemies with your torches, and when they confuse they will basically skip their turns. And I remind you once again, everything started from fighter level 1, and only because of that now we can completely free keep our concentration forever. That's hilarious and really overpowered, but there's one more reason to be in this place. When you kill this trader or complete his quest, you will achieve this awesome torch that lies right in the chest behind him. Torch of Revocation. Again, looking like a pretty normal torch that you will probably throw away, but just equip it as light source, and it will light up in a green flame. Now it will deal additional necrotic damage in addition to burning damage. And every dice we roll, we will reroll for additional damage thanks to our feet and thanks to our head. Each hit we make will be critical hit. Complete demolition. And if you think this works only on basic enemies, just look at this. It works on basically anyone, even against bosses with legendary resistance. This character is just crazy. Haste Spores, Action Surge, and you got 3 actions as a first turn. First for you, but probably last for your enemies. Not a lot of people can really survive this amount of damage. And funniest part, you don't even need to fight them, just confuse them and watch how enemies go and attack each other. That's hilarious. And if you like this build, you will probably like other builds on the screen right now. Make sure to watch them and see you in the next videos.